I'm Corey. I am the admin assistant for Dimensions, and while I was performing some important work duties, I was travelling on public transport on the bus, and I was not wearing a mask, of course. And the driver challenged me, which in itself is fine, but he challenged me in a very stern and, I think it's fair to say, aggressive manner. But I tried to be very clear from the outset that I'm not wearing a mask due to my autism and learning disabilities. I very clearly showed in the ID that I had, which was a travel pass and an autism card. Tried to make it very clear to him repeatedly that it is official government legislation and guidance that people with disabilities can be exempt from wearing a mask. And I tried to explain this to him a number of times, and basically it just wasn't accepted as a valid reason. The reasoning that I give was ignored entirely, or just belittled even in certain points. And then unfortunately, despite me trying to defend myself and trying to keep the situation de-escalated, I tried to keep myself very calm and collected. The situation just kept on escalating. Other passengers starting to get involved. I started to get various comments thrown my way, such as throwing him off the bus and where is his ID. And this was an extremely scary and horrific incident, because obviously it became a case of being ganged up on. A common trait with a lot of people on the autistic spectrum are various amounts of sensory difficulties. And again, those can vary a lot from person to person. I can only speak in terms of my sensory difficulties. I have to wear certain type of clothes. So I have to wear very silky type of clothes. For a lot of people that are more severe than me, even wearing a fabric face mask is simply not going to be an option either. I do think that perhaps the public and staff need to appreciate just how scary, and I would dare say for some people, I'd go as far as say traumatic, these kind of events can be for people. And a lot of the time, especially more vulnerable members, people who are more severe, they aren't going to be able to even properly voice their defense. They're not going to be able to be as articulate. And they're going to get even more stressed when you've got people being extremely aggressive towards them. Before this incident happened, I had already been challenged twice before for not wearing a mask, and they were both extremely positive exchanges. They both came to me and said, hey, why aren't you wearing a mask? Their tone of voice was comforting, their language was comforting, their body language was positive, and it said to me that they're not aggressive, they're not an enemy here. All these things make a huge difference in these kind of interactions. Those are the interactions that we need to be pushing and trying to make as the new norm, not what happened the time after that, which was an extremely negative thing for everybody involved, really.